Charlie turns to me, starts running. Like, where are you going? He's like, I'm about to go on Air Force One. I'm in heels trying to chase him to figure out what is going on. He goes, okay, so I got to get on Air Force One. I was like, good for you, baby. He's like, okay, so I need you to close out the Amfest, and I need you to do the staff meeting afterwards. And I was like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, you're closing out Amfest. And I was like, I am not closing out Amfest. He's like, yes, you are. And I said, what am I supposed to say? And he goes, you'll figure it out. That's why I married you. I was like, you always say that to me whenever we're in a position. He deeply mattered on a multitude of levels, so much so that it proved even more once he was assassinated how much of a peacemaker he was and how much of a coalition builder.
Once he was assassinated, not when, once. And I am obviously not an expert in English language, although in my head I sound super British. But I know when we use the word once. It's, for example, when you say, once we ate dinner, we could start on the puzzle. Once we finished washing dishes, we went to the movies. The word once is inserted when you are talking about accomplishing something.
The English lady cracked it.
Yeah, if they in my ear, the one drop me down and yeah, that's clear. Yeah, everything is not clear. This the end, then everything's clear. That's right, the end is near.
TPUSA thought the best idea to honor Charlie KiRK at the Amfest this year was to recreate his inappropriate memorial with fireworks and calls for donations, but add a setup of replica of the tent he was assassinated in, so people can take selfies in it, and set it up right next to the area where you could buy merch. So, you know, you can wear the freedom shirt, step into the tent, and really feel it, really be in the moment. Get that first-hand experience of assassination. Then you can walk towards the stage area where you would hear the richest right-wing influencers screaming at you for not supporting a certain country where they wear tiny hats. And then, once you are 99% sure it's a fever dream,
What's a tiny hat?
Nicki Minaj would appear on stage and would lecture you while calling Vice President J.D. Vance an assassin in front of Erika KiRK, who we can't criticize because she's a widow. And also a stand-up comedian with one joke about Egyptian planes from the humor standpoint.
From a humor standpoint.
I'm not even mad about Amfest at this point. You Americans made fun of our Eurovision all those years. Now we have something to make fun of you about. I'm joking, but I'm not. Amfest was a disaster, and I wasn't going to make a separate video about it, but I got hundreds of comments, and some of you even emailed me requesting my reaction. So here I am, reacting. So I have a collection of viral clips that I want to watch with you guys and give us some context, my thoughts, some updates about them. So let's go. We start from the very beginning, the modest and humble entrance of Erika KiRK.
Everything that Charlie built, you guys are the legacy holders of that. You are living proof that his mission did not die with him. It lives through you. And Charlie always said the next generation will decide whether freedom endures. And because of you, I know that freedom will endure.
The next speaker is a very, very special speaker. She has had a heroic last year, and I believe she's the best mom in the world. She is my hero and the love of my life. Join me in welcoming Erika KiRK.
I have a question, man. I have a question. One question. Where do people get time to go and clap for these things? Do you make time? How do you make time? I want some of that. Give me some of your time that you make so I can use it to do something better. You get what I'm saying? Where do you find time to go and do this? To go clap for these things that make no sense at all? To me, it makes no sense.
First of all, the music reminds me of the shuttle music they play in London or Birmingham airport. I swear, Anyone from the UK will confirm. And when it comes to Erika, you guys already know that I agree with most of you. A lot of the things, if not most of the things she does, at least in public, I find it appropriate. Coming out with her sparkly suit, fireworks, elevator music, this recording of Charlie saying how amazing she is, it just screams, love me and adore me, I'm amazing. Charlie said so, it's true. At some point, I thought she would start riffing like, who's sad about Charlie? Put your hands up. I understand that this event is meant to be spectacular, but there was just too much that went wrong. It wasn't done in honor of Charlie, as they kept saying. It was done to make money off of Charlie's name. Because everything that happened since he was taken out proves that he was worth more dead than alive. Whoever ended his life knew it.
Wow, that is something. I mean, we already know this. We already know this, man. It's not even. It's not even. It's like a chicken, right? The chicken is worth more when it's dead and cooked, right? Exactly that. You know how much money is made. I mean, you know what? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. Who's making money of this? Who is making money of this? Who? Somebody. Who is making money of this?
The amount of money that was made all around after his assassination is despicable. And I'm not pointing fingers, I'm not saying names, I'm not alleging anything. But going back to the grand entrance of Erika itself, to be fair, Charlie always had an entrance like this.
Again, I got the same question. Okay, same question coming back. Where do people get time to go and do this? Wow, bro. Oh. You got no life, bro. You got no life. People.
So yeah, fireworks are a part of it. He loved it, and it was to celebrate the company's success. It was a happy event. But I feel they could have done something different, something more tasteful. This felt like someone decided, grieving is over. The comparison happens a lot online, but I think Amfest really felt like the Hunger Games. Granted, I didn't see hours of footage of it. I saw clips and make my judgments based on that.
Charlie turns to me, starts running. Like, where are you going? He's like, I'm about to go on Air Force One. I'm in heels trying to chase him to figure out what is going on. He goes, okay, so I got to get on Air Force One. I was like, good for you, baby. He's like, okay, so I need you to close out the Amfest, and I need you to do the staff meeting afterwards. And I was like, excuse me? He's like, yeah, you're closing out Amfest. And I was like, I am not closing out Amfest. He's like, yes, you are. And I said, what am I supposed to say? And he goes, you'll figure it out. That's why I married you. I was like, you always say that to me whenever we're in a position. Where we won't, like, there's no script, there's nothing. He's like, baby, you'll figure it out. That's why I married you. So again, here we are. Right. So now we're opening Amfest.
See, that's why it's so hard for me to feel empathy or any sort of warm feelings towards her because of moments like this, when she chooses to tell a story not about Charlie, but how Charlie thought how amazing she was. You will figure it out. That's why I married you. Oh, stop it. And then the pause waiting for applause. That's what they always do. Ben Shapiro, aka BS, literally stared people down until they clapped. It just feels like she wants to come across as this incredible superwoman, and she tries so hard that it just seems fake. Fake.
That's exactly why I even started laughing before she pointed it out. Okay, that was just corny. That was What she said was corny. Erika KiRK, man. Come on, boy.
Fake is the word I've been using a lot when describing her behavior in my videos because this is what it is. Fake, performative, and snaky.
We have 25 countries represented plus Puerto Rico, but I have the list here. Don't worry, guys. Egypt is not on the list. Don't worry about that. Oh, how funny. I say Egypt and my iPad turns on. That's fun.
This was set up 100%. That's just what I believe. This wasn't an accident. She keeps talking about the damn Egyptian planes. How do I imagine the conversation between Candice and Erika would go if Erika wasn't hiding anything, allegedly? Candice would say, hey, by the way, I found some weird things about those military planes. They seem to be following you for the past 4 years. Normal, concerned, grieving, innocent Erika, like any other normal human in the world, should have responded with, what? That's weird. Let me check those flights. I want to check where I was at the time. Let's compare the notes. But no, Egyptian planes became this ridiculous joke. I'm going to say it again. It's an investigation. If Egyptian planes are a dead end, a lead that doesn't pan out, that's okay. If it leads to some more information, good. What's important is at the end, arriving at the truth. Anyway, I want to prepare you for this next clip because it is settled, but the choice of words is questionable. Listen to this.
Is that my husband, he deeply mattered on a multitude of levels, so much so that it proved even more once he was assassinated how much of a peacemaker he was and how much of a coalition builder.
Once he was assassinated, not when, once. And I am obviously not an expert in English language, although in my head I sound super British. But I know when we use the word once. It's, for example, when you say, once we ate dinner, we could start on the puzzle. Once we finished washing dishes, we went to the movies. The word once is inserted when you are talking about accomplishing something.
The English lady cracked it. She cracked it. The English lady. Clap one more time for the English lady. British lady. English. What is the difference? It's not the same people. Okay, it doesn't matter. English lady, British lady. Clap, 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 clap. She cracked it, man. She cracked it. Yes.
If she said when my husband was assassinated, that would make more sense. It was something unexpected, tragic, and it wouldn't be spoken about by her as something that was accomplished, but rather something that happened. When she said the words once he was assassinated, and I perfectly realized here that it could be a simple bad choice of words, but once she said that, see? Even right now, I'm using the word to describe this situation. As usual, we turn to AI to see what it will say about it. After I asked what's the difference between saying once he was assassinated and when he was assassinated. So once he was assassinated, focus, a prerequisite being completed. Consequences followed. Emphasizes what happened after the assassination. Suggests a turning point or next stage. Yo, ChatGPT, the puns. Anyway, suggests a turning point, touche, or next stage unlocked. Can subtly imply the assassination was anticipated, expected, or a step that enabled other events. This is why some people feel it carries a faint sense of completion or accomplishment. Example, once he was assassinated, power struggles broke out across the country. Reads like, after that was done, tick, then this happened. It does not mean approval, but the grammar structure can imply that event happened and then it followed other things to proceed. When he was assassinated, focus the moment in time. Neutral description of timing, no sense that the event was expected or needed. Common in everyday speech, describes what was happening at the time or the immediate reaction. Example, when he was assassinated, he was giving a speech. Purely time related, no implication of prerequisite or accomplishment. I'm obviously not suggesting she did something to her husband.
Okay, look at the eyes. Bro, what kind of eyes is this? That's crazy. That is crazy. This lady will freak you out in the dark. That is something. Wow. What kind of eyes? Look at the eyes. That is crazy. Scary. Clap one more time for the English lady. One more time for the British lady. One more time for the Brits. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. Everything she pointed so far is legit. I'm not going to keep watching, man. It's too long. It's too long for me. 21 minutes, 22 minutes. Shout out to her. What is her name? Who's this lady? Her name is... Her name is right here. Anybody, you can check that out. Make sure to go to her channel and check it out. I'm gonna catch you guys next time. Again, shout out to anybody out there shining the light on the truth. Be careful, because they might come for you. Who? Bad boys, bad boys. What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Bad boys, bad boys.
I'm praying to the sky and I got no fear. That's right, bro, I got no fear. Every day in my head, every day in my ears. Yeah, every day in my ears. The one draw me down and yeah, that's clear. Yeah, everything is not clear. This the end, then everything's clear. That's right, the end is near.